Hi everybody, this is SAAD for the SAAD Truth. This will be my last SAAD Truth clip prior to heading off on a much needed break. Some of you may have read earlier today on my social portals that several of my clips, in this case two clips, were deemed unmonetizable by YouTube, and this now seems to be happening with increasing frequency, even though all of my content is always very respectful, very polite, very proper discourse, reasoned conversations with all sorts of accomplished people. My own analyses are always, measured and, as I said, reasoned, full of science, data, logic. And so there's absolutely no reason why they should be unmonetized, especially when they receive a lot of views, and especially when, if you could just look at the like-dislike ratio, people love them and so on. And so what I thought I would do today is ask you if you would be kind enough to consider supporting my work through Patreon or through PayPal. Patreon allows you to offer a monthly donation. It could be as little as $1 a month, up to whatever you want. PayPal is a one-shot donation. Now, some of you may say, "Oh, but don't you do this just as an altruistic endeavor?" Well, I mean, yes and no, right? Of course, I'm all about providing content that will help people navigate through a lot of important issues. Of course, I view it as part of my duties as a public intellectual, but it's actually not part of my job, right? I mean, I have a full-time, very serious 18-hour day job as a professor, as an academic, as a doctoral supervisor, as a master's student supervisor, as a grant writer. I serve on editorial boards, I write books, I write scientific papers, I apply for grants. And so it's not as though I don't have enough to keep me busy. I do this as an extra burden on myself because I feel that it's important that everybody weighs in when it comes to all of the issues that we're facing. And I think it's important that we contribute to the battle of ideas and to advance human knowledge in any way that we can. And so I do that, with full alacrity. But of course, it takes a lot of time. It takes me, it's taken me hundreds, if not thousands of hours. I've put up, this is my 232nd clip since my first clip in August 2014. So this is a breathtaking speed of productivity, if I may say. I've had countless guests. It takes time to book these guests, to set up, for their publishers to send me copies of their books if they're going to discuss a particular book on my show, to decide on a schedule, to prepare for the guest, to have the guest, to chat with him or her, to then post the stuff up and face with all the technical difficulties. So what I do on my YouTube channel could be considered in of itself another job on my already very busy life. So it's certainly not unreasonable to expect some sort of remuneration. I mean, when I do this, it takes me away from other pursuits, which frankly are astonishingly more lucrative. I could make more in a speaking engagement by going somewhere for an hour than what I've made collectively, cumulatively, from all of my YouTube endeavors so far. And so all I'm asking is that for people to, if they truly value what I do, if they truly value my voice, to contribute in some small way. So far I have 43,000 plus subscribers, and I think now the number is up to 404 patrons when I last checked. Just today it went up, I think, from 379 to 404, precisely because of my plea on my social portals network. So right now I'm at less than 1% conversion rate. In other words, less than 1% of people who are subscribers to my channel contribute through Patreon. Now, just to give you a sense, I think 45% of all views on my channel, I'm over 2.5 million now, come from subscriber, and 55% come from non-subscribers. So now imagine also that there are tons of people, thousands and thousands of people who watch my stuff, consume my stuff, and oftentimes they send me questions and comments and ask for my help in all sorts of ways. I mean, hundreds of messages I receive, within a short period, if not thousands. And all these people are certainly typically not contributing anything. And so if we can get those numbers up, it frees up my time from having to pursue other things. It helps me feel as though all of the time and effort that I'm putting in, I'm getting, at least I'm getting something in return in terms of the time and effort that I put into this process. And so I urge you, it doesn't take much. I hate to be making these pleas because it's as if I'm cheapening the purity of my altruism. There is no such thing as absolutely unidirectional altruism. That's called a parasitic relationship. I provide you with endless amount of content, and it certainly is reasonable to expect some very, very small token of appreciation in return. So if you can, if you're in a position to do so, please contribute either through Patreon or through my PayPal link. At least this will ensure that if YouTube continues in its lunacy, then it makes it that much less financially painful to me when they engage in all of their machinations. So in any case, thank you for all of your support. It is the case that I don't do this for the money. As a matter of fact, it's only well into the endeavor that I started to monetize. It's only about 2 months ago that I started monetizing my clips, and earlier in the fall that I started my Patreon account. So originally it wasn't even within my purview to be making any money off this. But frankly, it's become such an all-consuming initiative that it is no longer feasible for me to provide the type of content at the rate at which I provide it without somehow being remunerated for it. I'm sure that most of you can understand that. You don't go to your dentist and expect that he or she does your teeth for free. You don't go to a restaurant expecting that you eat for free. So I am nourishing your minds. That must cost something. So thanks everyone for your support. If you don't wish to pay, you can at least spread the sad truth wherever you can. So there are multiple ways that you can contribute. And maybe this plea should be more generally for all those who are fighting in the battle of ideas, not just me. If there are other channels that you love and appreciate, that you appreciate what the folks in questions are doing, then support them. Again, when you go for a coffee at Starbucks on a given day, that's how little it would cost to support a channel like mine per month, right? I mean, if you pay $1 or $2, $3 per month, I mean, that's really nothing compared to the amount of time that I provide to the endeavor. So there you go, folks. Off tomorrow to sunny Southern California. I'll talk to you soon. Again, thank you so much for your support. It's a true honor and privilege to be able to have this platform to share my thoughts with you. Thanks again. Cheers.